I'm going to be chatting to Cara Weir-Smith, occupational and remedial therapist, and she's going to be telling us about the educational and developmental benefits of Loom bands. Hi, Cara.
Hi, Nikki.
So give us an idea of why you think these are so beneficial to children.
Oh my gosh. Okay, there are so many benefits associated with the Loom bands. The first one that comes to mind, obviously, is the fine motor development. Because the children are having to use the little intrinsic muscles in their hands, which are so crucial to pencil grip and anything to do with any fine motor control.
So you're talking about how they pull one elastic band over the other.
Absolutely, but the fine motor benefits outweigh even that. So it's pulling over one band over another, and please believe me, children are much better at this than adults.
And you're using a crochet hook here. Some children will use their fingers.
Yes, you can also use tweezers as well.
Okay.
But also actually loading the elastic band onto the loom or onto crayons or onto your fingers is also fine motor movement.
So it develops the strength in the fingers because there's resistance with the elastic bands.
The strength and the actual dexterity as well. So not only the muscle strength. So everything you would need to hold your pencil correctly, obviously in preparation for writing.
Can you show us a proper pencil grip?
Absolutely. So what you really want, this is called a tripod grasp. The most important thing about the pencil grip is that this web space over here is open.
Okay.
If this web space is closed, then the children get sweaty hands and hand ache, and it leads to a whole lot of other numerous disasters. So there's that, the pincer grip. There's the quad grasp, which is where that middle finger is also on the finger.
So that's like a stabilizer.
Yes, yes. So that's also absolutely functional and very acceptable. And then there's this one too, which is the
I know people who hold pens like that.
Which is extremely comfortable also.
But you see that the web space is still open. Can you show us a poor grip?
Okay. A typical poor grip would be that, a thumb wrap.
Okay, and then some children hold it like that, but that's usually only in preschool. They generally move beyond that.
That's your, I don't want to say that's so awful, sorry. That's your 2-year-olds, and that's a palmer grasp.
Okay, right. So we've dealt with the eye-hand coordination, the fine motor, and the actual muscle strength in the hands, which is important if you're going to be writing in class for 20 or 30 minutes at a time.
Absolutely.
So children really do need to play a lot in order to develop that strength. What about the sequencing? Because look at some of these beautiful bands. The girls were putting them together and they were going red, green, or blue, purple, white, blue, purple, white. That would be sequencing.
Absolutely.
And that's a visual memory skill.
So the sequencing is involved in the color order of the bands that you're making, as well as the actual instruction order. So what you have to do, you have to follow a sequence over and over again.
Right.
And sequencing is a precursor to spelling. So very, very important that your sequencing skills are.
So, for example, CTA does not spell cat.
No.
It has to be in the right sequence of CAT.
Exactly.
And the more children play with sequencing or games that require sequencing, the more they develop that skill.
Exactly.
Okay, and then for me, there's one other thing, or two other things really. The children mentioned that they often copy patterns.
Yes.
So copying is a skill, just like if you're in class and the teacher puts something on the board or whatever medium she's using. It might not be a blackboard today, but you have to copy off a board or you have to copy out of a textbook, for example.
100%.
So when you have games that require a task card, that would be a similar exercise.
Yes, yes. The fancy word for it is called visual motor integration, which is your copying. And it's extremely important that kids use their spatial skills, which are used all the way from driving a car.
That's planning your movements.
Exactly, exactly. So all these skills need to be developed in children for them to be functional adults later on.
Okay, right. And then the last thing that I wanted to mention is the children talked about the fact that it can take weeks sometimes, like to make one of those dragons. The amount of focus and concentration the Loom bands require of children makes it just a no-brainer once again.
Absolutely.
Because you take a child from babyhood when they've got like a minute and a half's concentration for every year of their life. They get into primary school where they must concentrate for 30 minutes at a time. And if they've played a lot, they extend that concentration span, and then school will be so much easier.
Exactly. It's one of those few games that sustain a child's attention. So they have to continue until they reach an end product. There's so many things out there that are this immediate feedback, and this really gives them that sustained, focused attention and concentration, which is invaluable.
Thank you so much, Cara.
Oh, it's a pleasure, Nikki. Thank you.
Thanks Thanks for joining us today and for helping us to understand why loom bands have such massive appeal. It's no wonder they have become one of the world's hottest crazes. Do join me next week when I will chat about learning, play, and how to choose a really good toy. Fellow toy judge Justine Hadra and I will also share some top toy and game recommendations for the gifting season. Don't miss it. Until then, I dare you to go and change the world, one parent, one teacher, one leader at a time.